Kellogg's Frosties contains 37 grams of sugar per 100 grams. That is not an old newspaper figure. It is the number on Kellogg's current UK product page, checked in July 2026. Here is the comparison worth saying out loud. Frosties still contains more sugar per 100 grams than the average chocolate biscuit figure quoted in the High Court in 2022. And yet, the most useful thing to understand is not that Frosties is sugary. You knew that before you clicked. The useful thing is how a cereal can pass one official test while still looking poor on another, and why words such as non-HSSS are not the same as things like healthy. So, here is the verdict before we go any further. For sugar concentration, turn the box around. Ignore the serving column for a moment. Find of which sugars in the per 100 grams column. 5 grams or less is green under the UK front of pack traffic light guidance. More than 22.5 grams is red. Everything between those figures is amber. That is the shelf test. Back, per 100, sugars. Use it and Frosties is red at 37 grams. Crunchy Nut is red at 35. Kit Kat cereal is red at 24.9. Lion cereal is red at 24.5. At the other end, Weetabix Original is green at 4.2 and Shredded Wheat Original is green at 0.7. But that is only a sugar test. It is not a complete judgment on the whole food. Fiber, salt, calories, portion size, and what you add to the bowl still matter. The point is narrower and more useful. The front of the box cannot tell you how much sugar is in 100 grams. The back can.
The confusion begins because Britain now has two different systems doing two different jobs. The traffic light system helps a shopper compare nutrients such as sugar, fat and salt. It asks a direct question: how much of this nutrient is in the food? The nutrient profiling model asks a different question. It was developed by the Food Standards Agency in 2004 and 2005, and it is used to decide whether a product is classed as less healthy for advertising restrictions. It gives points for energy, saturated fat, total sugars, and sodium. It can then subtract points for fruit, vegetables, and nuts, fiber, and protein, subject to the model's rules. That is a composite score. It is useful for regulation, but it is not a certificate saying a product is healthy. A cereal can improve its score by reducing sugar. It may also improve its score by increasing fiber. Those are not the same nutritional change, even though both can move the final number. Think of it like an exam with several papers. A strong mark in one subject can improve the total. It does not erase the weak mark, it changes the overall result. That distinction reached the High Court in 2022. Kellogg's challenged the way the rules assessed breakfast cereal. The company argued, among other things, that cereal should be considered as people normally eat it, with milk. Milk changes the nutritional figures for the bowl, so scoring the cereal with milk could improve the result. On the 4th of July 2022, Mr. Justice Linden rejected the challenge. The court's position was that the cereal should be assessed as it is sold. What a shopper adds later is not part of the packaged product the manufacturer controls.
The judgment also made the comparison that should make anyone at the breakfast table look up. Frosties was listed at 37 grams of sugar per 100 grams. The average chocolate biscuit figure before the court was 28.5. That does not make a bowl of Frosties identical to eating biscuits. Portion sizes differ, and milk changes the meal. It does prove something more precise. The breakfast label can make a sugar concentration feel ordinary that would look obviously high in the biscuit aisle. The court case did not say cereal was unsafe. It did not ban Frosties. It settled how the product would be assessed for the relevant rules. Then came the commercial decisions. In 2023, Kellogg's confirmed that Frosties was being removed from its children's variety packs because of its sugar content. The Frosties recipe in the full-sized box did not disappear. The decision changed which products traveled together in the multi-pack.
That matters because regulation does not merely change recipes, it changes packaging, product ranges, advertising choices, and where companies place their effort. Sometimes the food improves, sometimes the surrounding offer changes instead. From the 5th of January 2026, restrictions on advertising identifiable less healthy products came into force across the UK. Such adverts cannot run on television before 9 p.m, and paid online adverts for them are restricted at all times. There is also a brand advertising exemption, so this is not a blanket ban on every advert carrying a cereal company's name.
That nuance matters. The government banned cereal advertising would be dramatic and wrong. The rules target advertising for identifiable products classed as less healthy. Companies can reformulate a product, alter a range, change the advert, use qualifying brand advertising, or accept the restriction. The result is a cereal aisle where the reputation of a product and its current recipe may be years apart. Take Cocoa Pops. For years it was the obvious villain. Chocolate, a cartoon monkey, and a reputation built when the sugar number was much higher. Kellogg's says it reduced Cocoa Pops from 30 grams of sugar per 100 grams to 17 grams. Its current UK page still lists 17. 17 is not green, it is amber. Nobody should turn that into a health halo. But on sugar concentration alone, current Cocoa Pops contains less sugar than Frosties. It also contains less sugar than Crunchy Nut, Kit Kat cereal, Lion cereal, and Weetabix Protein Crunch. That is the uncomfortable verdict a blacklist video usually avoids. A product can deserve criticism in 1 year and a different judgment after reformulation. If a channel keeps attacking the old recipe because the old reputation gets clicks, it is not investigating the aisle, it is recycling a villain. Now compare the current numbers using the same test every time. Frosties, 37 grams of sugar per 100 grams, red. Crunchy Nut, 35 grams, red. Kit Kat cereal, 24.9 grams, red. Lion cereal, 24.5 grams, red. Weetabix Protein Crunch, 22 grams, amber but sitting close to the red threshold. Cocoa Pops, 17 grams, amber. Special K Original, 15 grams, amber. Corn Flakes, 8 grams, amber. Weetabix Original, 4.2 grams, green. Shredded Wheat Original, 0.7 grams, green.
Those figures are from current UK manufacturer pages checked in July 2026. Packaging changes, recipes change, and online pages can lag behind shops, so the box in your hand remains the final check. This is where a lot of cereal investigations quietly go wrong. A survey can be excellent evidence of what was sold when the survey was carried out. It is not automatic evidence of what is sold now. A figure measured in 2015 tells you what the recipe was in 2015. It does not earn the right to appear in a 2026 ranking without a current pack or current product page beside it. That sounds obvious, but old figures are unusually tempting in this category. They are dramatic, neatly tabulated, and easy to copy. The headline survives online long after the recipe changes. Special K is a good example. An older Action on Sugar comparison recorded Special K at 17 grams per 100 grams. Kellogg's current UK page lists 15. That is not a revolution, and it is still amber, but the current number is the one a current verdict must use. Cocoa Pops is the larger example. Repeat the old figure and you can still write a furious script. Check the current page and the story becomes more interesting. A famous sugary cereal was reformulated substantially, while several products with calmer names still sit above it. The opposite mistake is possible as well. A product can be reformulated upwards, a pack size can change, or an online listing can lag behind the shelf. That is why the date belongs next to the figure. When this channel gives you a number from a historical survey, you should hear the year. When it gives you a current buying verdict, it should use a current manufacturer page, retailer listing, or the pack itself. That is not excessive caution. It is the difference between investigating a product and repeating a reputation. It also explains why some familiar own-brand cereals are not in this comparison. Historical surveys contain striking numbers for them, but I could not verify every current 2026 recipe from a reliable current source. A dramatic old number is not better than an honest omission. The shelf may prove some of those products are still poor. Until the shelf proves it, they do not belong in a current blacklist.
So add one mental question after the sugar test. Which year is this figure from? You do not need to ask that while standing in the supermarket, because the current box answers for itself. You need to ask it when a video, article, or social gives you a ranking. If the creator cannot tell you when the product was measured, you are being given content, not evidence. Notice what this list does not allow you to say. It does not say Kellogg's is bad. The same manufacturer currently sells Frosties at 37, Crunchy Nut at 35, Cocoa Pops at 17, Special K at 15, and Corn Flakes at 8. It does not allow Weetabix is safe. The name on its own tells you almost nothing. Weetabix Original is 4.2, Weetabix Chocolate is 17, Weetabix Protein Crunch is 22. The company is not the unit you eat. The specific product is. That is why the brands to avoid is often a lazy title pretending to be a useful shopping rule. If one company sells products across the green, amber, and red bands, condemning the brand hides the exact distinction the shopper needs. The variant name matters. Original, chocolate, crunch, honey, and frosted are not decoration. They can describe products with completely different sugar concentrations under the same master brand. Here is the proof that the tool has already started working. Imagine 3 boxes from the same shelf. Box 1 says Weetabix Original, Box 2 says Weetabix Chocolate, Box 3 says Weetabix Protein Crunch. Before I give you the figures again, decide which one you expect to sit closest to the red line. Original is 4.2 grams per 100 grams, chocolate is 17, Protein Crunch is 22. The product with protein on the front sits closer to the high sugar threshold than the chocolate version. That does not mean Protein Crunch is nutritionally worse in every respect. It means the front of pack word your eye treats as a health signal didn't answer the sugar question. The per 100 grams panel did.
You have just used the test on a product I did not walk you through one ingredient at a time. That is the point of this video. Not a list to memorize, a skill you can carry to any cereal aisle. There is another trap in the serving column. Manufacturers usually provide nutrition per 100 grams and per suggested serving. The per serving figure is useful, but it is only useful if the amount in your bowl matches the stated serving. A 30-gram serving is not a visual unit. Most people do not know what 30 grams of their cereal looks like, and different shapes fill a bowl differently. Large flakes, dense clusters, and light puffs do not occupy the same space at the same weight. That is why the 100-gram column is the clean comparison tool. It standardizes the products before your household portion enters the calculation. First, compare products per 100 grams. Then, look at the serving you actually pour. Do not reverse that order. Comparing one manufacturer's 30-gram serving with another manufacturer's 40-gram serving is not comparison. It is arithmetic wearing a marketing jacket. This is also why saying it only contains 2 teaspoons per bowl may mislead without being technically false. The statement may describe the manufacturer's bowl, not yours. For children aged 4 to 6, the NHS advises no more than 19 grams of free sugars a day.
The total sugars number on a cereal label is not always identical to free sugars, particularly when a product contains ingredients with naturally occurring sugars. Do not casually treat those two measures as interchangeable. For heavily sweetened cereals, the label still gives you a powerful warning signal. Just use the right language. It also stops a true concern turning into a false claim. If you want this kind of test applied aisle by aisle, stay with Aisle Alert. No blacklist without current numbers, and no current number without a source. Now, what should you actually buy? The honest answer is not buy anything on a safe brand list, it is to decide what job the cereal is doing.
If low sugar is your first filter, Shredded Wheat Original is at 0.7 grams per 100 grams. Its current ingredient list is simply whole grain wheat, and it lists 14 grams of fiber per 100 grams. Weetabix Original is at 4.2 grams of sugar per 100 grams, just inside the green traffic light range for sugar. Plain porridge oats are generally low in sugar, but read the actual pack. A plain bag of oats and a flavored instant sachet are different products sharing shelf space and visual cues. Corn Flakes at 8 grams and Special K at 15 are not low-sugar products under the traffic light cutoffs, even though both may look restrained beside chocolate or frosted cereals. Amber is not a disaster. It simply means do not let the design award a product a green light it has not earned. Crunchy Nut and Frosties are simpler. At 35 and 37 grams per 100 grams, they sit well into the red range for sugar. Buy them knowing what they are, not because the breakfast aisle made them feel unlike sweet food. The rule is not never eat a red product. The rule is do not mistake a red product for an everyday low-sugar choice. Food is not a morality test. A household can choose a sweet cereal because people enjoy it. The useful change is that the choice becomes deliberate. And remember the limits of this investigation. Sugar is one part of cereal quality. A complete comparison would also look at fiber, salt, saturated fat, energy, whole grain content, fortification, price, and the portion actually eaten. A low-sugar cereal is not automatically the best cereal for every person. A higher sugar cereal is not poison.
This video focuses on sugar because it is measurable, printed on every pack, and routinely blurred by branding. The advertising score is not the same as the traffic light sugar category. Non-HSSS does not mean healthy. A company name does not give one verdict across every product. A serving chosen on the pack may not be the serving in your bowl, and a famous villain can genuinely improve while a sensible-looking variant quietly sits closer to the red line. You now have the test. Back of the box, per 100 grams of which sugars? 5 or under is green, more than 22.5 is red. Between them is amber. Then check the exact variant, not merely the brand. That takes less than 10 seconds. It works on products this video never mentioned. It still works after the thumbnail has vanished from your screen. The next rung is serving size engineering. How a technically accurate portion can make two products look comparable when they are not. The tool will be just as simple. Compare the weight before you compare the headline number. For now, take the cereal already open in your kitchen. Turn it around, read the per 100 grams sugar figure aloud, then decide whether the front of the box prepared you for the number on the back. That is the difference between being reassured by a package and being able to read one.